Morning. Welcome to a Tyke Farming in the Philippines live stream. It's well, as you know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. We've got three men on site. Still dark, obviously. I don't know where the three are. They're down the bottom end. I can't see nothing. It's that dark.
No, it's in there.
I don't know if they got the light on yet or.
They started.
Sorry?
They started doing the fire.
Oh, but they haven't got a light going yet.
Not yet.
So yeah, here we are again. It's been a very busy week this week. Busier than what I like, really. A lot going on. When I do a video, you only really see part of it. It's been quite hectic this week, one way or another. Organising things to go back to Australia next week. Monday night to leave here.
You have comment, Nathan?
Mm-hmm.
You have comment?
We've got a comment. Morning, Martin. Yeah, we're well, a bit tired. Or at least I'm a bit tired. Yeah, a lot going on this week. Follow up yesterday measuring the roof, so that'll be sorted out before I go. The roof is virtually finished now, apart from the sheeting, of course. Saw you yesterday afternoon was welding up the cross braces. There's my fingers. I think there's one more to do of them. And then there's a load of angle bar down there, cutting short pieces up. I didn't really know what he was doing with that. But I realised since down both sides of the house and a shorter bit along the front of the house, the fascia boards will be fitted in the guttering. So it's like making, like he did with the girders for the trusses to sit on. He'll make a lesser version of them for the fascia boards to fit on. So he's got quite a bit of welding this next couple of days to get them sorted out and fitted. But the sheets won't be coming until after I get back from Australia. So what? Raining. So while I'm away, they'll be digging the cesspit. We've got foundations within the building to pour.
That fascia thing, they need to put that one.
Yeah, along the sides of the house,
Yeah.
fasten the fascia board to. So there's plenty for them to do. So work will carry on while I'm not here. And I would suspect the way the pork is selling, they'll be butchering next week when I'm not here. No more piglets about, so we'll have a gap. I'm going to keep the 4 gilts I've got for sows. So there will be a gap in meat sales when we just run out of meat. Even if we've got new piglets now, we'd still run out of meat because the smaller pigs, I don't think you can call them piglets now. I'm not going to butcher them until they get to a decent weight. I don't think it makes any sense in butchering pigs at 50, 60 kilos. It's all right if you've got surplus pigs to sell them as lechon pigs at 40, 50 kilos if you've got a surplus, because you're getting quite a premium on the small pig live weight. what you're selling at. But we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Morning, Ants. Morning, Anthony. Oh, thank you. I'm pleased you find it. Things of interest on it. Maybe a bit grand to say it's a show. It's really a video diary of us doing what we're doing, you know. Some things will be good and some things won't be so good, and some things will be of interest to some and less so to others. But at least it is what it is. There's no pretense here. Martin, yeah, it is definitely to look after the future piglets. If you're breeding your own piglets, you've got complete control, and you can finish up with a closed shed, so nothing comes in apart from feed, and you can lower the risk of disease that way as well with the closed shed. And once you get it set up and running, it should you should be able to manage it so it runs continuously. The cycle of life and everything carries on. We more or less decided that we won't do AI. I've never farried pigs before, so it's all going to be a learning curve to me. But there's a bore up the top of the mountain which we can get in. So what we're thinking of is to bring that bore in, and we'll take the gilt out of the piggery. By that time there'll be a roof on the house, and we'll put the gilt, make a pen of some description under the house roof, and bring the bore in to service the pig there. And then keep that pig separate for a couple of weeks under the house roof. And then return it to the piggery. Eventually, I think we could probably have 6 sows in there and a zone boar. It would make sense. And then you've got a closed shed, and the risk of bringing disease in then is much, much less.
Do you know what day today?
Sorry?
Do you know what day today?
Sunday.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just looking. No light on yet.
Okay.
Why? What's today?
No, I'm just asking if you know what day is today.
Oh yeah. Somebody commented. When you retire, you never know what day it is. I'm not that bad now, and most days I know what it is. I even have an idea of dates again. About 12th or 13th of March, isn't it?
No?
What?
Just 9?
9. Well, I'm a bit in front. But for quite a few years, I never knew what day it was. I had no idea what date it was either. You know, when you retire and you're not getting up for work, you just lose track of it. Plus, you're not as mentally agile as well as what you used to be. Answer's got pigs due at the end of the month on gilt.
First time, Mom. First gift.
What? When did you breed them? Ants on the first, second, or third cycle? From what I've read, like I say, I've never done it. The second or even the third cycle of the pig is the best time to breed them. The first cycle, they don't know what's happening. It's all the bodies. It's all brand new to them. Martin, 2 boars to improve genetics. I can't see us having 2 boars. Because of space and cost of feeding 2 boars. Now, what you do if you need to improve genetics or you're running out of gilts to put with that boar, because they're directly related to that boar, then it becomes a terminal boar. You grind that up into minced pork, and you buy another pig in, another boar in. About the third, yeah. I'll weigh that up when we get there. Certainly not on the first cycle. It's possible on the second cycle, because we are there's a timeline. We are wanting piglets, but if we're able to source piglets, then we'd probably wait until the third cycle. Yeah, 3 pigs, 2 was AI, 1 natural. How did you go on the ants? What's your opinion with AI? I mean, I've seen AI with cattle. Was you successful with the AI, or did you struggle a bit? At least with the boar, when it's done, you know it's been done. Doesn't mean to say that the pig will get pregnant, but there's a better chance that it will, as far as I understand. Very quiet down there. They're normally banging about. Oh, the light's on now, and the fire's going. And they got a bigger light this week, so it'll be better for them. Yeah. So they'll be finishing 12 o'clock.
Like last time.
Yeah. Two sessions. Yeah, as far as I understand the AI with pigs, you put a straw in them, or whatever you call it with pigs. Because the semen isn't frozen with pigs. And then 12 hours later, you give them a second go. I know a channel I watched, they did 3 pigs with semen. They did it themselves, and I think one got pregnant out of 3. So I think it is more hit and miss. But you can put a boar to a pig and not get it pregnant. But you've more chance.
Oh, 12 is watching with you.
12?
Yeah, there.
Oh, right. Yeah, big time. So, meat sales, Jean. How much meat have you got left in the fridge, do you think?
Less than compared to last week.
Less than you had last week, and you were quite low last week, weren't you?
Mm.
And that was a 78 kilo pig.
Mm.
I wonder how much this is going to be. Dead weight. I'm saying 85. I said 85 last week, but I was wrong. I think this is a bigger pig, isn't it?
Yeah.
A little bit bigger. So I'll say 85 again. Just thinking, these I've got 2 bags of grower left. Oh, I think of it, a full bin as well, so maybe 4 bags of grower. But the big pigs now, after that feed, will be going on to finisher. And the little pigs are coming off starter. They'll be going on to grower. I think there's 2 bags of starter left.
Yeah, and the bin was full.
The bin's full as well.
Maybe.
I don't know if it is or not. They'll soon clean 2 bags up the way they're going. What's the live price weight on the market now, Jean?
I don't know.
It was 340.
That's not live weight, that's dead weight.
Oh, right, yeah. So it was 250 live weight, wasn't it?
280?
280. 280 a kilo live weight. It was selling 340 a kilo dead weight on the market.
390.
It's up to 390 a kilo now, dead weight on the market, but that's boneless. Whereas traditionally, when we're selling it here on a Sunday morning, it's including bone and whatever have you.
Yeah, but not a lot of bone.
Sorry?
Not a lot of bone.
No. And we're selling it at 300 pesos a kilo. We could probably get a little bit more. But the trotters are 280 a kilo, and the head's 280, is it? What about the mask?
Yeah, the mask was 280.
The mask is 280
The
as well.
full head without the skin on, we sell it for 300.
Oh, it's regardless of weight. Right. So there's nothing wasted here. So we're making a good profit of 300 pesos a kilo, and we don't have to worry about bone. Now, what's left after Sunday morning goes in the fridge. There may be a rump a shoulder or 2 rumps in the shoulder, and then Sunday evening I bone it and I cut it up because it's easier to cut up and you get better looking meat. But I don't cut it up hot. I stick it in the fridge for a few hours to cool down. And I get far better. Same as a rump, it's not a premium here. So I cut it up like gammon. I'll separate the 3 main muscles. And then I get a nice slices, some with skin, some not. And it sells a lot better. Mostly on a Sunday morning it's kilo pieces. But during the week it's half kilo, quarter kilo. Excuse me, even small pieces of 80 pesos. A good sellers, and it all adds up. It all goes. It doesn't matter if you sell 3 kilos in one go like you do on a Sunday morning. If you're selling quarter kilo pieces, it soon adds up to 3 kilos. Martin, a sack of food, it's about 1,800
Peso.
pesos, 1,800 pesos. It varies a little bit from starter to pre-starter to finisher, but not a great deal. Tenderloin forward, we don't.
Last time we get it.
Yeah, we don't normally take the tenderloin out, John. It's you don't get a premium for that here. They like a bit of fat on the meat, and they like a bit of bone in the meat as well. Because very often they chop it up into small pieces and make a stew or a soup with it. But the tenderloins came out last Sunday. They took them out because they were quite big.
Yeah.
I
sell it for $3.20 a kilo.
$3.20 a kilo. Have you sold any?
Yeah, I did.
Both gone? Right. So the answer is $3.20 a kilo and it's all gone. So we'll take it out again today. Did it sell quickly?
Yeah, it's just right. I sell it there outside.
Because you can put it up to $3.40 then. No.
You missed one comment.
Where? Answers 205, 210 live weight. Yeah, here if it's a lechon pig, we were selling it last time round 200 pesos a kilo live weight. Be more now. What would we sell it? Well, they've been here trying to buy a big pig, haven't they? We've declined.
Yeah. No, they're gonna buy it.
280 a kilo live weight.
No, that's dead weight, 280.
How much live weight?
I don't really know.
You don't really know?
Maybe like this we have for lechon pig.
Yeah.
They said it goes high. It's around 320.
320. So
same age as what we have in.
Yeah, I seem to remember 250 being mentioned.
250? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, during the feast there on top.
Yeah.
The counselor paid 250 live weight onto the pigs they killed.
But the price of pork varies between islands. Negros, I was talking to a fellow there maybe 6 months ago when I last spoke to him. And their prices were quite a lot lower than here. And Leyte, I believe, is the same. But Cebu, before the flu struck, 300 pesos a kilo was the normal price, retail price for pork. And I'm not sure, probably about 250 the same for live weight. But it's more now. The market price dead weight was 340, but I believe that's higher now. But like I said, that's boneless.
In the market, they're getting 280 a kilo. That's dead weight.
280?
Yeah, but the thing is, you need to go there when they kill the pig to look at.
Oh, so they're not 340 a kilo then? 280?
No, when they buy it, it's 280. They're selling it in the market for over 300.
Yeah. But when you're halfway up a mountain, you can get more than the market because the price goes up. But we have to set the price to what other people are selling it locally. Because today, there'll be a fellow just round the corner butchering a pig.
330.
330 is charging. And then last Sunday, there was a fellow around the corner butchering a pig and a fellow on top of the mountain butchering a pig. So that's the prices we have to work into. Edward Down. Yeah, the 4-rib sheets. I didn't know about them until this firm we contacted. I haven't seen them before. In Australia, the colour bond sheets are, no doubt they do have the 4-rib ones, but I haven't seen them. The ones on the piggery and this roof, it's a 3 ribs on the sheet. No, there's 2 in the middle, so it'd just be 2 ribs. So I would imagine the 4-rib ones, they are a little bit dearer. Twin, yeah, 2. These are 4 ridges. There's 2 in the middle and 1 either side.
I don't know.
They are a bit dearer. Now I would imagine they'd be stiffer, which will make it easier to put up on this side of the this side of the piggery, because they're quite long lengths. So hopefully it'll make the job easy. Well, they've got a good fire going down there now. I can see flames 5 foot in the air. Yeah, we'll see how we go. When we put
Twin rib, it's like the...
Yeah, there's 2, 4. Oh, there's 2 at that end. 1 at that end, 2. So there's 2, 4, 6. There's 7 ribs in the twin rib sheet. Oh, and that's a single rib there. 1, 2, 3, 4,
No,
5.
that's not a single rib. It's too close.
Yeah, there's 8 on that one, so that's a different profile.
I think it's like this.
1, 2, 3, 5. 5 ribs on the other sheets.
Yeah, too big like that.
So there's twin rows on 2,
7.
7. Yeah. And they're still 1 metre wide, so they're a wider piece of metal with more ribs in the stiffer, would you know?
I'm sleepy now.
We're running out of screws as well for the fixing the sheets on. The first roof we put on, the piggery, the fellow who was in charge then, he ordered all these screws, so many boxes of screws, and he must have been used to using a smaller box. And these were quite large boxes, 100 pieces in each box. And we had about 15 boxes of the damn things. So them screws put the piggery roof on, they put the veranda roof on, and then when we put a secondary roof on the veranda, they put that roof on. But we're down to 1 box now, so we'll need 2 or 3 more boxes of them screws.
Yeah, you can ask Soy how many we can.
Yeah, we don't want 15 boxes again, or whatever it was. Although we have some more roofs to put on in smaller chicken sheds, and we have couple more buildings to put up. Not as big as the house, obviously, or the piggery, but as big as this veranda. And I've got room for quite a large chicken shed where I put the laying birds. And then eventually we'll be done. We're running out of room. The only thing I'm a little bit disappointed. I wouldn't have made this house quite so big if I'd have realised it, I think. The house itself is not too big, but with the verandas on, it's taking quite a large footprint up. So the lawn around the house is not as big as what I would have liked it to be. Because there's no point in putting a house up and then not having a some lawns and a bit of garden to make it all neat and tidy.
Comment.
So we'll be hearing the pig squealing not too much longer, I think. Yeah, the overall price of the house up to now, Gene, I haven't said. A moth. You get fancy coloured moths here. That's a yellow one. You get different colours.
I will add up first.
Right, she's adding up. To give you an idea. This is a large cost, is the roof going on. That's 108,000, or it'll alter maybe a little bit. And then that'll be the last large bill on actually constructing the house. On the inside, the bills there will be whatever you can afford. You can put as much or as little into it as you want. But putting the walls up will be sand and gravel and cement and wages, and do everything as we can afford to do it. There might be times when we have to stop until we get the money together to carry forward again. But I've still got lots of little jobs to do which require not so much materials and money for materials. We can carry on paying wages. The shop can bear that cost. So get lots of these little jobs done while we're waiting for funds to gather to, for example, wire the house, put electric wiring in, or plumbing, or whatever.
That's not including the wages.
Now, up to now, we've spent 311,000 pesos on the house. That's not including the roof.
And the wages.
And it's not including wages. So 300,000 is £4,500. £5,000. No, what am I talking about? 3,500.
4, 7, 14, 21, 28.
4,500.
Yeah.
£4,500. So round it up to £5,000, 10,000 Australian dollars, which is little money for a house. Not to lock up, but all the main structure's going to be there. But I can't think in pounds and Australian dollars anymore because I'm working now in pesos. So it's 300,000 pesos, which is a lot of money here. And then when the roof's on, it's going to be 400,000 pesos.
Yeah, that's plus, that's 113.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
424,000.
Almost $500,000.
Ants, solar power. Yeah, solar power makes a lot of sense wherever you are in the world. Mostly here because of brownouts. You know, it solves that problem. Same as the incubator I bought last week. I got one with a 12-volt connection as well because of brownouts. Because if your power's off for 2 days, and it's possible here, you lose your eggs. At least with a battery connection, I can take the battery off the little truck and keep it going for 2 days. What's the third of what was in? Yeah, the thing with solar power though is panels are quite cheap now. They've come down in price, but your fittings, your what do you call them?
Battery.
Regulators, your converters, your batteries in particular, to storing power. You can't put it back in the grid here, as far as I understand it. So that's a big cost. You can use lead acid batteries. Is it low cycle they call them? Discharge and charge better. But if you need 10 or 15 or 20 of them, that's a big cost. Or you can go on the other type of batteries, which are better, but they're more expensive. And it'll take you a good few years to recoup the cost. A big investment up front, which you couldn't do at the moment. But of course, you do save on your power bills. Now, the power bills are in, they'll be due to be paid next week, I think. How much was the one for the shop here?
5,700.
And 2,000 down the piggery. So just short of 6,000 pesos for the shop for last month, and just short of 2,000 down the piggery for last month. And the reason they're so high is we plugged in here to the veranda for the welding on all the roof, and then plugged in down the piggery meter for the welding up of the trusses and that, the preparation what was done down there. And the welding, same as on the piggery, 5,000 it would normally be for the piggery, or 2,000 for the shop. 5,000 last month. It'd be normally 2,000, wouldn't it?
No.
How much?
Yeah, it's around like the 5,000.
Yeah, but normally how much it is when we're not welding? 2?
No.
How much?
5. Now it's 5,700.
For last month. And it's normally 5. Oh well, that's not up much then. But the piggery one was how much?
I get you the receipt.
How much was the shop?
5,700.
Right. So that's only up marginally then.
There in the
Piggery.
It's 2,100.
Yeah.
Supposed to be it's just
So that's double.
1,000.
Yeah.
Double.
So the piggery was double, up 1,000 pesos. That was soy making up the trusses originally. And the one for the shop is only up 700 pesos. But I don't think that can be the full picture because they've had at times 2 welders going on that roof, welding on top of the roof. So I would imagine it'll be on next month's bill there'll be a bigger cost than that for welding. But electric here is cheap, 5,000 for the shop a month. It's £75 a month, $150 a month. And we're running a large fridge for the bottles, cold drinks, and it's non-stop. Hot drinks going in and cold drinks coming out of that unit. And then I don't know how many cubic feet the freezer is, but a large domestic type freezer. Well, it's a commercial freezer, but it's as big as a large chest freezer. And and that's on all day and all night to keep the frozen food right, obviously. Ants. 1 to 3,000 for the house. Yeah, I could have built a house here, a smaller house, obviously, for 300,000. I didn't really think the structure was going to be that big, but yeah, I want to be comfortable in there.
You give this one to them?
But you can be comfortable in a small house. You know, at the end of the day, in a larger house, you can only sit in one part of it or sleep in one part of it.
I go for a while now?
Yeah. The main bedroom will be a normal sort of size bedroom, and so will the second bedroom. All the left-hand side will be open plan, so that will be big. There'll be lots of room in there. Room you don't really need in this sort of climate because the balcony is the main part. And it's not like with the West where you can, if you put a lot of money into a property, you can regain that money at some stage if you do decide to sell. I don't think you'd regain the money I'd put into this place if we tried to sell it. But I had no intention of trying to sell it. Same as early in the year when David came out to visit us, it would have been nice to have a reasonable house so they could have stayed with us instead of staying in a beach house only 15 minutes away. But that cost them quite a bit of money for that beach house. It was quite expensive. Oh, right. Electric bill. 3,000. I did struggle with that a bit. Ants. I rounded it up to 300,000, thinking you were talking about the house. Yeah, 3,000 for the house and 3,000 for the farm. Before we opened the Sari shop, the electric bill for the cabin, which is still virtually the same, was about 1,000 pesos. And then when we put started building the roof for the piggery, that's when we jumped to about 5,000, I think, for a month. Hell of a jump with the welders going. But with the shop, I think 5,000 pesos a month is, very reasonable indeed. Not forgetting that in the Philippines, the profits are much smaller than what they would be in the West because your turnover is much smaller. Early bird has risen. Well, we're up. I don't know about risen. Still half asleep. It takes me a long time to get going in the morning now. The days are gone where I woke up, jumped up and went straight to work, It takes me a while to pull around, but this time in the morning this is the third week, is it, we've been up early, or fourth week? Fourth week, I think.
I don't know.
It's a bit telling. Although I don't actually do any of the work. Yeah, but we'll sleep tonight again. That's the upside of it. But Jean works more. Come, I don't know, 6 o'clock. They'll be bringing meat up. Jean, the weight, and Jean goes down there, the weight. She writes it down, they bring it up to the table then. And Jean stood outside all morning till midday, making up orders and selling meat. Windows are chopping out there. I'm no good at doing the chopping like that because they just hack pieces off it as they want. The customer tells them what they want and then they hack away at them. That's how it is. Whereas I'd be spending 15 minutes taking a couple of bones out the leg and then slicing it nicely. And we'd never get the bloody meat, so me doing it. Yeah, everything's different here. And why try and change it? It works, and that's the way to do it, and let them do it that way. I'm quite happy sat watching the television all morning, Sunday morning, politics and whatever I'll have you watch. And if they want something, I'll go up and get it for them. Or I'll have a walk around every now and again, have a look what's going on. I'll sit next to a meat with a little switchy thing and keep the flies off it on. But there's not a lot of flies about at the moment. Quite happy to do that. I'm sure the locals find it a bit comical because, like I was saying once before, they put Western people right up there. And here I'm sat next to a meat with the most menial task there is, waving off flies. But I'm happy doing it. I amuse myself in various ways. I find situations amusing. I'll go out the front or pick bits of paper, put them in the rubbish box. And I know they're watching me with disbelief, but I'm sure they used to be, picking up bits of bloody paper. Any foods amiss? Oh, loads of foods amiss, Ants. Pies and sausage rolls. I've always been a big pie man. Bacon and sausage. You can get bacon here. You get sausage here. I get breakfast from what do you call that? Virginia hams, and they're quite good. So, but other sausages I don't eat. Bacon's sweet, too sweet for me. Bread, I can't eat the bread here. Far too sweet. It's like eating cake. And in Metro, I can get American bread. The American bread's sweet to a European. So I miss the bread. I'm going to bring some bread back this time. What else do I miss? A shoulder of lamb. Either roasted or in Irish stew. Maybe you can get lamb here, but I doubt you could get mutton for an Irish stew. Steak. I've tried beef here a couple of times, and there's no enjoyment in eating it. Beef mince to make a bolognese. Pork mince is okay. I did get some boar meat in Metro once, and that made a better bolognese. Yeah, lots of things I miss, but nothing that makes it a deal breaker. I mean, there's lots of things I've regained in my life here, which I missed a lot more over the last number of years.
They're struggling to lift the pig.
Struggling to lift a pig onto the table, so it's heavier than last week.
Yeah. They need to count 1, 2, 3. Oh, they need to count the trunk.
Yeah, more relaxed life in the Philippines than in the UK. That's what I found when I emigrated to Australia. And now, 20 years later plus, I mean, the UK is just absolute bloody madness. You can't even recognise it anymore as the country it used to be. And that's not being derogative to the UK. The people are still the same. When I went back to the UK after 20 years, I'd sit in the town centre on a seat somewhere, and I just sat there listening to the Yorkshire accents, and it was, it was really, really good to be back. And then COVID came along, and I knew UK wasn't the same place before I went back. I discovered Nigel Farage in European Parliament, and I thought, oh, this bloke speaks well, but he's talking a load of nonsense. And I didn't watch him again. And YouTube kept throwing him up, so I watched a couple more. And then I realised he wasn't talking nonsense. The bloody country had gone that far down the tubes. It was bang on the money, but the bulk of the people in UK at that time didn't realise it. I think the bulk of the people in UK now know there's something sadly wrong with the UK. But like I said, the people are the same, lovely people. I'm one. I'm one, but I'm also Australian. Yeah, love people watching when I'm there. Yeah, I don't like being centre of attention. I much prefer to be in the background, which is very difficult when you're a foreigner here. But I find people the same as anywhere else in the world. If you're polite to them, they're polite to you. Everybody wants to, well, not talk to me, but the fellas, they want to acknowledge me and me then. And it's a nod here, and you give them a nod and then there's a big smile. And there's a few now as they've got to know me and I've got to know them. And good morning. And I do talk to quite a number of people now, just to say good morning. One or two have more English, so I have a word or two with them. Yeah, I've no problem here. It's all positive for me. Oh, that's easy, Edward. There's only one Sunday lunch, isn't there? Roast beef and Yorkshire pudding. Mashed potatoes and gravy.
The young one will take bath.
All right. Yeah. I'd have Sunday lunch every day of the week.
You want tea?
Yes, please.
I'm giving them some coffee.
That's something you can't get here, is or in Australia, so for that matter. It's slightly different. Is what do you call it? Horseradish. Horseradish sauce and mint sauce. The mint sauce in Australia is like a jelly, and that's sweet. Mint sauce to me is mint leaves in vinegar.
Big cup you want to?
Yeah, I love a big cup. Don't forget, don't forget, I'm quite old, so my tastes are not the same tastes as younger people from Yorkshire or UK now. I mean, McDonald's. I'll eat McDonald's if I have to, but if I don't have to, I won't. If I'm driving to the motorway in the UK, I'll have a Burger King. But mostly I'd go into Greg's if there was one on the motorway and get a couple of sausage rolls and a pie. Same as Australia, you can get your meat pies and everything there, but equally Italian food or Greek food, it's everywhere. And you can eat very well in Australia for little money. In the shopping malls and that, there's a vast range of food, different foods. But I don't like everything piled together in a souvlaki or kebabs are not so bad. It's basically sheep meat and salad. But I just like meat and 3 veg. I don't like everything piled on top of it, and all these different sauces put on: garlic sauce and chili sauce and sweet chili sauce, and it's a big mess on the plate. I just like things separate: meat and 3 veg, and gravy in a jug, so I can put the gravy where I want on the potatoes and meat. I don't like gravy on the vegetables, for example. So I suppose I'm quite picky as I've got older. When I was younger, I'd just stick it in my house. It didn't matter.
Your tea, I will do it.
All
It's
right.
in there.
Yeah.
I'll get back to it.
James just made a coffee. 3 coffees for them work fellas. We'll look after them on a Sunday. I mean, you wouldn't get 3 fellas coming into work on a Sunday at 4 o'clock in the morning for the same pay they get coming in at 8 o'clock during the week. And they're working 7 days a week when they come in. Sometimes Rama will have a Sunday off. Wynn never has a Sunday off. You just can't afford to. And the new lad Roger does as he's told. Not by me, by them. So he doesn't have a choice but to come in at 4 o'clock. In the West, if you were coming in halfway through the night on a Sunday, you'd be on double time at least. Double time and a day off, I think, nowadays. So they work very cheaply, but on the other hand, they're very grateful to be working here. Because they know they're going to get paid on a Saturday. It's quite common here for fellas to work and then they run out of money for the house bill and don't get paid for the last week's work. Very common. Well, if I run out of money for building this house and I have to stop a period of weeks or a few months to gather money back in to carry on. There'll be no bills left unpaid, and there certainly won't be wages left unpaid. Wages are priority. They have to be there every week. And if, for example, next week if I thought I'd struggle paying wages, I will be saying them today, don't come in next week, I've no money. I've no pretenses.
Where should you put this one?
Yeah, just put it there. If I've no money, I'll say I've no money. Not a problem for me. But I won't have fellas coming in here working and then saying on the end of the week, oh, I can't pay you, or I can only pay you half wages because I've run out of money. And that's not the way to operate. But, you know, from a business point of view, these small businesses we're setting up, it's much easier here. You've got all the regulations here, but they're not enforced. They haven't got the manpower, or the government can't afford the manpower to enforce them. It's not a case of you more or less do as you like, but the government aren't as intrusive in your life. There's no taxman coming around here, for example. The way it operates here, I don't know. It's the same in the rest of the Philippines. You get your business permit every year. January the 1st, I think it is. And you go down, or Jean goes down, and they ask her what the turnover is, what she's selling, and how much she's selling on a weekly basis, daily basis. And then the permit, to get the permit, you have to pay X amount of money. That's when you're paying your tax. And it's very lax in how much you're turning over. No, not a lot. Not very much. And nobody argues about it. And you just put it down and you pay them what they're saying. Building permits. We've got a permit for the house, but we still haven't got it in his hand. There's no inspections to how you put,
We're done.
doing it.
They do inspection already, the site.
Yeah, they've done a site inspection where the footprint of the building's going to be. But there's no inspections on, like, electrical inspection. That's being done by the fire brigade off the plan. But nobody comes down and checks it.
Yeah, if you do that permit when your house was there already, then you will need to do changes as what they've said. So it's ideal to make the permit while the house is not built yet.
Yeah, that's the logic here. Make the permit before you build the house, and then you can't make any mistakes. Yeah. There's nobody inspects the standards of construction or anything like that. And on this mountain, the permit for the piggery, the architect said we were the first people to have a permit on the entire mountain.
That's why he ran the money away.
Yeah, no, we won't go into that. But yeah, things are different here, but there's no VAT, there is VAT here, but VAT here or income tax is 10%, but nobody pays income tax. Probably the really big businesses do. I don't know. I don't know if there's corporation tax or anything like that. There's no employment tax. These little businesses, it's not uncommon for them to to have 10 or 15 people working for him, like the hardware shop down the road. But wages are so small, I suppose you can throw people at the job. They don't load sand and gravel with a front end loader. They have 3 or 4 blokes with shovels, load the wagon, 4 ton of gravel. Then you get to descend. Tippers are quite common now, but before they had tippers, they'd shovel it off at this end. Yeah, swimming pool.
The rooftop.
Yeah. You put it on the roof.
Yeah. Because it's sea view in there.
Yeah. See, if you stand on the apex of the roof, you can see the sea, according to Wynne.
Yeah, because he always sat there on top. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, Hans. Why change anything? Or why think that you can change things to suit you here? You see it all the time in YouTube. Things are different, and or it's better in America, or it's better in Europe, or it's better in Australia. It's not better, because they wouldn't be here if it was better. They come here because it's better here in not every aspect, but in the main things people are looking for in the West. They come here and they find them. That was the same when I went to Australia. I went there because it was better than UK in the aspects I needed at that time. If I'd have stayed in the UK, my lads wouldn't have got apprenticeships. They'd have been lucky to get a job. There was no bloody work in the UK when I left. Rather similar to what it is now, I believe. If they hadn't taken them to Australia, they wouldn't have been where they are now. The two did an apprenticeship with Bosch in Australia, and one did started his apprenticeship elsewhere. And the 2 oldest lads now are maintenance managers, and they've got a good living. I can't take credit for that. They did that all on their own. But me and the mother, we did take them to Australia, which gave them that opportunity. They'll never go back to UK. I didn't think I'd ever go back to UK, but circumstances sent me back there, and I enjoyed my time there. 3 or 4 years I was back in the UK. I enjoyed the family again. Lots of family in the UK. But it's just pretty grim at the minute over there, and it'll get worse, unfortunately. Incompetent politicians, that's what it boils down to. I don't think we've had a half decent Prime Minister since Harold Wilson. And even around after Harold Wilson, you'd Callanan and Edward Heath, they were 2 bloody idiots as well. Unbelievable. Just absolutely, as I say now, absolutely no common sense. Totally incompetent. So it's all quiet down there with the pigs, so
there's only
they're de-hairing it. They've got it off pat. You don't have to bother with these fellas now. I do look forward to getting it set up down there to butcher properly. But it could be a while but I really do want the electric stunner to take the stress out of the pigs. We'll get a much better product. It might be a while before we have a walk-in fridge down there. Not too long up, but this is what I've got to balance now. If I'm running out of money to carry on with the house, I can't put all the money we have coming in into the house and neglect the livestock and the business. I've got to put money into a walk-in fridge and humane processing the animals to get not only to get a better product, but to increase sales. And I can see in not too distant future, we won't be butchering one pig on a Sunday. We'll be doing 2. So I want to be butchering on the Saturday, let the meat hang overnight in the fridge, and then bring it up. They can chop it up the same way off the table, local sales, and when all the meat is stretched out, we can cut it, joint it better. I in shoulder, ribs and rump. We can take the belly pork off, leave the bone in if you want, or take the bone off, and the ribs, the pork ribs, with a little bit of meat in between the ribs, you can get more or less the same price as what you can for the pork. So you can increase your profits if you cut it up better. Because you can't let a business, no matter how small, stand still. If you don't keep trying to improve it, little things, then somebody will come along and take your trade away. Because if you sit on your laurels, there's always somebody around the corner seeing, oh, they're doing all right, we'll do the same. And that's sari shop, that's pork, that's chickens, that's everything. When I come back from Australia, I'll get some killing cones and we'll start processing them chickens. I've got a small fridge here, which David bought to cool his drinks while he was here on holiday. I can get maybe 10 chickens in there. So if we process 10 chickens, I've quite a lot of cockles still. Sit them in that fridge overnight, then joint them up into little trays and cling wrap them, and we'll see how they go in the shop. No reason why they shouldn't go. Yeah, it certainly is a different way of butchering ants, because it's a different way of eating over here. Everything's a partner for rice, so soups are very popular. Flavours the rice, and it makes the rice moist, and everybody gets a little bit. So if you'd 5 prawns, I cut them up in very tiny bits, and everybody gets a bit, plus the flavour, plus the rice. But having said that, if there's anything happening here, they all seem to have a pig. And they can eat a colossal amount of pork in one go. and the rice takes second place then. But normally the rice is the main part of the meal. Yeah, I'm keeping records, John, about filing for taxes. No, the less to know, the better. But same as in UK and Australia, I would imagine America's the same, all the Western world is the same. And it'd be the same here, I would imagine. If there's a dispute on taxes, then the onus is on you. They'll just make up a bill for any amount of money. And the onus is on you to disprove it. So you need evidence. So you need proper records. But, you know, these businesses aren't in my name, they're in Jean's name. And Jean is the same as any other Filipino. She pays taxes the same as everybody else. And that's the way they do it here. So I'm not interfering in that. I won't be volunteering for tax or anything else. Just let her do it how they do it here. But certainly keep records so you can say that no, this is the actual figures, this is actually what we've done. So you can argue the case, or Jean can argue the case if need be. But nobody else argues the case here, nobody else is bothered, so don't expect Jean to be bothered. And at the end of the day, as the saying goes, you can't get blood out of a stone. And that's why they're so lax with the taxes. There's no income tax as such, because the businesses pay business taxes. But everyday people here don't have money for paying taxes, so they can't get them, they can't levy taxes. Yeah. Well, not just lechon pigs. I've seen large pigs, 80 kilos pigs, and like sea fleas. They pick every last bit of meat off the bones. Yeah. The thing about taxes, John, and a lot of things, we come here and we think with Western heads, house permits, building permits, inspections. We think quite differently to Filipinos. But you're quite right, you know. You need to keep some records for your own peace of mind. And then records will be kept like you'd keep them in the West. So I will. With no records at the minute other than what's written down, weekly takings and whatever of it. But when I get a point of sale thing in there, it'll all be printed out from the computer. It'll be all on the computer. There's no disputing it. That's the way to go. But as yet, I haven't got round to it. There's a lot of things I haven't got round to. There's two reasons for it. we're too busy with other things. Construction's always took priority up to this house. We're going amok with disease in the piggery the first time round. So now the animals are definitely priority. Close second is the house building. But there's lots of other things I want to do when we get round to them. I just looked at my watch, it's 5:20. It's not daylight yet. Maybe another 3/4 of an hour to daylight. People are starting to wake up, motorbikes going past now. Jean will be opening the shop any time. The niece has stayed overnight. 2 nieces sleeping in the shop. And Jean's cousin's little girl, she's up making a cup of tea, cup of coffee.
No, milk.
Oh, a cup of milk. Yeah, powdered milk.
I let her borrow my clothes.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Let's have a look, Rick.
she don't have.
Oh, that's smart. She's got Jean's t-shirt on, which is a full-length dress.
I told you I was just. Win was drunk.
Win was drunk?
Yeah. He lay down there on the after they killed pig, he lay down there on the roadway.
I don't know if you heard that. Win was drunk, so they've killed the pig, and now Win's laid on the roadway like that star shaped, fast asleep. Yeah. I don't think he wasn't staggering drunk. He had a drink last night, obviously.
Yeah. He's not used on drunk anymore.
Yeah.
He's not used on drinking since he got the baby. Maybe Rogie and him last night there at home.
Yeah, they had a beer here when they left. And as you usually do, they got a litre bottle of beer to share between 3 of them. And then
I did not give them.
I'll give them a litre bottle of beer. And they said no, they'll have it today when they finish work today. So
Now Win is still drunk, so.
But they must have had a drink at home. Win just doesn't have the money to drink anymore. That's the first time he's had a drink since Christmas. And the drink Calapo, how much is a half-litre bottle of Calapo?
50.
50 pesos. And it's 20% proof. It's supposed to be wine. Chinese wine or Korean wine or some Japanese wine.
When I send the coffee down there, I said, "Oh, what happened to him?" And then it make them laugh, Rogie and Ramil.
But Ramil cuts the fork down there. He empties it. Ramil's got a lot of skills. But he's lower down the pecking order. Wynn's got a lot of skills in concrete, and he's got a lot of skills in welding now. But he was never allowed to weld before the way they work here. Soy's quite happy for him to do more, because Soy's pushing 60. It's meant with this build, he hasn't had to go up there on top welding. He's been up a few times, but not right
Blue
on
nga
top
gamay o
welding.
blue nga dako.
Wind's done it all. And I've noticed with Soy, he's watching Wind like a hawk with them welds. To make sure he's getting the penetration and the welds are good before they're painted. And then, same as he is now when he was making the trusses and he's making these facey boards. Soy does all that. He's very happy working by himself, cutting up metal and welding it. He's quite a talented bloke. He's been around a long time. He's very experienced. I mean, he's basically building this house off a photograph. He's got plans and he's had a look at them. But, he's basically building it out of his head. The plans are just a guide. The photograph's more accurate to what we want. So that's what he's giving us. Yeah, Martin, you know, people when they haven't got very much and somebody does starts doing well, they try and pull them down. It's what they call in Australia the tall poppy syndrome, but it's really extreme here. I mean, they call Jean greedy and whatever have you because she says no to people, and she blames me, and I'm fine with that. That's what we agreed. Put the blame on me, because they see somebody doing a little bit better, and then they want some of it, so they ask for loans and credit and all sorts of stuff. And the answer's no. No, he won't do it. He won't let me. I don't have any money. It's David who has the money and he won't lend it. But as a foreigner, if you don't have these permits and you get complaints to the barangay captain, you could find yourself in a load of bloody trouble and having to pay out money you needn't pay out just to smooth things over. So permits are a must. I agree with you, Martin. Yeah, your own bottle. Well, I don't know, Martin, because I don't drink alcohol anymore. I can't handle it at all. I don't even have a glass of beer anymore. If I have 2 pints of beer, I'll go on a hangover for a week. I used to love having a few pints of beer in the pub, or sat outside in a beer garden, where the only place you can smoke nowadays, with a glass of beer in the sunshine, but not anymore. I don't know when I had I would have had a beer with David when he was over. I don't think I did, actually. Yeah. David, he knows I can't drink beer anymore. I'd plenty of glasses of beer with David in the past, but not now. Yeah, it's all teamwork. That's the thing I find is the same as it's always been throughout my life. The relationship with Jean is just the same, or it is for me. She's here, I would say. the women are more accepting to the man leading things. But Jean does question me, which is a good thing. It makes you think, and she's not shy in telling me her ideas, and sometimes she's right. Like the Sari shop, I didn't think that was going to be much of a thing at all. But I wanted it for selling meat direct to the public. But I was totally wrong. You can make money out of a Sari shop in the Philippines. But it depends what you call a Sari shop. You know, you've got to have more on lines as a corner shop in the West, I think. You've got to sell all the necessities and a lot more besides, so people can come and do a one-stop shop, which is the old supermarket regime. That's how they grew. Prior to supermarkets, you had a high street and people were going 6 or 8 or 10 shops to get the shopping. Well, it's the same here. Out of stock, no stock. And they go around 6 or 8 Sari shops on the mountain. So you get a Sari shop which is stocking most of what they want all the time and don't run out of stock. That's a large part of the success for this shop, I think. Yeah, Martin, I quite like Red Horse. It's quite a nice beer. I've heard people say it's bloody terrible, but I don't agree. It's a little bit like an English beer, English ale. I think it's 10% proof, so it's quite a high percentage. I like lager beers as well. As a young fellow, went to Germany and I did get a taste for lager beers. Well,
I will open the shop now.
Lager beers. I liked any beer when I was younger. I'd drink anything virtually. Like wine. I got a taste for wine when I was in Germany as a young fella. But I drink it like beer. But I didn't need as many pints. And in Australia, I enjoyed the wine in Australia. I came across the boxes of wine, which was an Australian invention, and it made the wine very cheap. And I used to like fruity wines. They were sweet, but naturally sweet, not sugary sweet. They have good wine in Australia. They have a long history of making wine in Australia, selling it to the UK. Yates's wine bars, they're still there. Rough old wine. It was a cheap way of getting drunk. They used to have flag floors and sawdust thrown on the floor years ago. But I believe they're still operating in the UK. That was all Australian wine. It was more sophisticated now. All the old wine houses. Yeah. Yeah, I'm totally out of practice.
I go there, I said,
oh, you're walking up.
Oh, it's already daylight.
Yeah, the thing about cold beers, this is a modern thing. Beer in the UK, it was cellar temperature. There was no refrigeration on beer. So it was roughly 9 degrees coming out the cellar. So it was drinkable in the winter. Ice cold beer when it's -8 outside and you've walked to a pub and you're feeling bloody cold, it takes some drinking. And that led to a joke in Australia for Poms. Oh, you want a beer? I'll stick it in the microwave for you, warm it up. Because they're mad about how cold the beer has to be. Hot country, yeah. It's nowadays even Guinness are put through refrigeration, and you lose a lot of the flavour. But there again, it makes sense for Guinness because stout was a specialist taste, really. You put it through a refrigerator, and it's more acceptable to more people. You know.
Do that out.
A Yates's wine bar in Rotherham. Yeah. I can't remember the last one I seen. I was surprised to see them still open.
Spartan.
Spartan Storm. Thank you, Spartan Storm. Noob. I've got a little radio jumping up and down. Noob.
He sent you 50.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure we'll put that to use somewhere, Spartan. If I actually buy something with it, I'll let you know what I bought. Yeah, Yates's wine lodges were all over the north of England. I don't know about the south of England. If they're still going today, and I think they will be, they'll probably be quite upmarket. They'll certainly be more upmarket than they used to be. Yeah. And the barrels behind the barn, you can get half pints. As far as I remember. I know when I went to down the Moselle Valley, some fiestas, they still have these fiestas, but they're very tourist orientated nowadays. But going back, how long are we going back? Over 50 years ago. They had these little festivals, and it was just for the local people in the small towns up in Moselle. They had the umpire bands going. They were a really good night out. And you bought a little bulk of tickets, and you had your own little glass. And you give them a ticket, and they filled your glass up with wine. But as the night wore on, and you were running out of money, maybe. When they got to the empty barrel, they'd tip all the dregs out onto the top of another barrel because there was a lip on a barrel going round, and you could dip your glass in that and drink it for nothing, which young soldiers absolutely did. Although with money in his pocket, it was far better to drink for nothing. Drinking that was like the Yates's wine lodges. Yeah. Yeah. That's about the only good thing about getting old is you've lots of memories, and there's nothing new under the sun. Young fellas now will go to Spain and get lotto. Although nowadays you've got drugs involved. I was watching a video quite a few years ago in Blackpool. and there was a lad from Cumbria, or Cumberland as it used to be, and I lived 20 years in Cumberland, and he was on about bloody being interviewed, and he couldn't afford to drink in the pubs. And a lot of people can't get the beer from the supermarket and drink it home now because the beer's too expensive in the pubs. And he's in Blackpool, this lad from Cumbria, for a night out, and he's only got 20 quid. Well, that'd buy him 2 bloody pints. So he's got himself some bubble. I didn't know what the hell bubble was. And he drunk that. And then he was going into this nightclub or pub, and he'd enough for half a pint of beer. And that was his night out. He was pissed out of his head on this bubble. And I didn't pin it down exactly, but as far as I know, when I looked into it, what bubble was, I forget what its commercial name is, but it's cow shit.
You're okay in here.
Yeah.
I will go there with the.
It's a little bottle of cow shit, and it's fertilizer for baby bio, I think they call it. And you mix it with water to make fertilizer for your roses or whatever you got. So it'd be full of nitrogen. So he was drinking that, as other people were apparently, to get high. What a thing to bloody do, drinking a little bottle of concentrated cow shit. Crazy. But on the other hand, you could go into a pub to be affordable, and you could have 4 or 6 pints of beer and be sociable on a Friday night. Or any night, but usually Friday night was the main night. Saturday was, they took the wives into the best room in pubs. But Friday was the main night for fellas. And I remember years ago, a pint of beer in the UK, it went up to £1 a pint. And everybody thought the world was coming to an end. £1 a bloody pint for a beer. I don't think you'd be able to get a pint of beer now for 6 quid. Maybe in Wetherspoons in the UK. Down London, no doubt it's 10 quid a pint now. I've no idea. And you can get a pint of beer in the supermarket for I don't know what price. Maybe £1.50, £2. So the pubs, people aren't going in the pubs. The young people are going in the pubs, but they get a bottle of vodka from the supermarket, and they drink that before they go out. So they're going out, they're pissed. So they don't have to buy so many beers and drinks in the venues, in the pubs. It's all government, isn't it? A packet of cigarettes and a pint of beer were affordable for a fella on a Saturday night, Friday night. Not now. Yeah, the government won't. Years ago, John, they didn't interfere in the lives of ordinary people at all. And it's just gone mad in the UK. They're looking at people's Facebook postings, the police have units looking at internet postings, and they're going round knocking on your bloody door, man. This liberal left, Marxists, they're just bloody communists. I mean, they talk about left and right. The reason they talk about left and right is the extreme left of one party or the extreme right of the other party meets up behind the Speaker's chair. And they're the same people. There's no left and right. There's dictators and non-dictators. Is probably a better way of doing it. And the liberal left are definitely dictating in many parts of the world now, all over Europe anyway, all over the western part. And hopefully that's going to change with Donald Trump. Well, it's changing now. Simple things like auditing government, like a private firm, would be audited every year. Taxmen, it has to be done. But governments don't have to be audited. So they're starting to audit the government departments, and they're finding it's not even hard to find. All the corruption is unbelievable in the Western world. And you're not talking a few $1,000s, you're talking billions of dollars. Where it'll all end up, I don't know. But as long as it doesn't affect my life, I'm not too concerned about it. You know, prices of food in America are feeling it now, but in UK and no doubt in Australia it's gone up an awful lot. Australia seems to be less extreme, but people are struggling in the West. In the UK, they're struggling to heat their houses. They're struggling to buy food. If the governments don't sort themselves out, it's got to end in tragedy. As history tells you, you can see it throughout history. People will eventually rise up if they're pushed down too far. When people get hungry, they'll do virtually anything. Yeah, John, we'll have to see. He's certainly making an impression, isn't he? But can one man change all this stuff? You'd like to think so, because a lot of change is needed. But it's a big job for one man and one lot of people behind him, obviously, hundreds of people around him. But it's still a big job. Yeah. So it's 5:45 just turned. So I'll leave it there. I've started a video this morning, so I'll continue with that video. And we'll see you all again later. Oh, I've just seen ants. My first pint was 66 pence. See you next time, John. I can't remember what I paid for my first pint, but 10 Mudbines were 1 and 10 pence. So a little bit before metric. So I'll leave it there. We'll see you all again later. Ta-ra for now.